There hasn't been a meeting that I went into that didn't get what I want. Stop loving money because people who love money never see it.
You are actually within the cafe, you're serving coffee.
When you are humble, in the eyes of God, you're high.
How does an entrepreneur go about cultivating that culture where their team members do the same?
You need to humanize yourself. I shocked myself.
You make some of the most controversial statements I've seen.
أنا اسمي إبراهيم الصمادي. هذا لساني خافي منه. If someone wants to put up their shoulders, I'll put up my shoulders 10 times higher. The domestic workers in the world, they are the most underappreciated people. He's my adopted son.
Today's episode is very blingy. It's with someone who's worth $50 million.
Only?
Yes.
It's increased since then, excuse me.
Oh my God. Okay. It's increased with someone who used to be worth $50 million, not anymore. Okay. We have none other than Ebraheem Al Samadi. Welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
The first time I met you, you made sounds which are very unique, bro.
Yeah.
What sounds did you make? Could you please do that?
Okay, we have to call him. Rix!
Bro, I swear, okay. So I'll tell you the story. I'll explain the story to the audience. So I'm a video podcast producer. We have a company called TNB Podcasting. We work with a lot of clients and we have brought you on a couple clients' podcasts. When you made that sound, brother, it calmed the client down, because clients are sometimes they're very nervous before a podcast shoot. But seeing a guest come on the podcast who's fun immediately calms them down.
I believe in each part of your life, it requires a different version of yourself. And sometimes during the day, you have to be different people as well. I'm not saying to have multi-personalities, but I'm saying to take advantage of the situation and do the best, bring the best version of yourself to that situation. Well, if I was going to go into a meeting with, let's say, my lawyer or my landlord or something, obviously I won't be doing that, If I am the one that is being welcomed into a podcast, and if I see the situation that the person there is nervous to meet me, a lot of people get intimidated and nervous to meet me. Because I'm a successful businessman, they look up to me and they feel like, that we're on different levels, but we're actually not. We're just in different places, I had some things, I had advantages, they had advantages, and we're a bit different people. So whenever I see that situation a bit awkward, I do something to break the ice. It depends on the situation. If it's an elderly person, obviously I'm not going to bark because I don't want to scare that person.
Yeah, of course.
If they're younger. So in each situation, I evaluate the situation and then I react. A lot of people, they look at me, they're like, why does he do these things? And they don't understand that there is a study behind it.
Right.
They think that I'm being childish or I'm being immature, but there's actually a very, very, very smart strategy behind the way I enter into any place.
Go for it. Tell us the start.
First rule, be on time. Being late already puts you in a negative spot. You cannot come and demand something when you're coming late, okay? You also have to dress correctly. You have to dress that you are ready to fight. You have to dress like you're going into court. To also wear the correct colors.
What are the colors you wear for a business meeting?
I wear neutral colors. I always start off the conversation depending on that person. Sometimes if that person is very, very, very strict and I feel that they're very tense, I decide to loosen them up. How do I loosen them up? I crack a joke. I tell them something personal about my family. There hasn't been a meeting that I went into that didn't get what I want. And this is a big thing in my success. Any meeting I get to, I always win it. I win every time.
You're born and brought up in Kuwait, correct?
Yes.
And then you moved to the US.
Yes.
Studied over there. You said, I know that you were bullied. There's one particular instance which I remember, which you said that my sister, something had happened to her and the authorities didn't defend her the way that you wanted, that the way it should have been,
Yes.
And that's why you decided to move to Dubai. When you got your sister to Dubai here, the first thing that she said was, I feel safe.
Yeah. Actually, it was so I
If
came
you
back,
can elaborate that.
I came in 2008 as a visit. Then I came to move finally in 2010 after I made a visibility study of all Middle East. Decided that Middle East was a place that I wanted to be, especially GCC, in particularly Dubai at the beginning because of the access points, which is like, Jabal Ali, the free zones, the amount of flights, Emirates Airlines goes everywhere. There's so many options. So that's why I just chose Dubai. And I bring my sister to the first person from my family to come. And sure enough, from the airport, we dropped the stuff at the house and we went to the mall. And when she was in Dubai Mall and she was just looking around like so like amazed by the advanced country and the advanced mall that we have, because America has so many malls. And I asked her, I said, can you describe Dubai in one word? And she said comfortable. And the reason why she said comfortable was because in America, she's considered as a minority. She's not a majority. And in Dubai, if you look at it, there's no minority, there's no majority. It's a mix.
Expat, 85%
It's a mix.
expat.
There's so much going on. Like, if you're Asian, if you're African, if you're American, if you're Hispanic, whatever you are in Dubai, you're gonna fit in, because there's so many of you and of your people there, and it's a mix. Even Emiratis, they're the minority because they're 10% or 11% of the population. So in America, as my sister wearing a hijab, she's a minority. So when she goes to places, people look at her, they give her dirty looks. My mom once, she was in the supermarket and they told her, go bomb your own country. And it's hurtful because my mom is American. My mom looked back at her and she's like, bitch, where do you think I'm from? And my mom doesn't know the lady.
Yeah.
But it's those little things in your day that, even though if you're a positive person and you don't like negativity and you try to avoid negativity, you cannot avoid someone coming and ruining your day. You can try to forget about it, but it's going to linger with you for at least a few hours.
Correct.
And some people, they just want to go home. They don't want to. You were attacked. You were literally attacked. You didn't do anything to provoke it.
Correct.
It was just that, the way you dressed, that what you're wearing. But that's if someone is covering and being modest. But yeah, if someone is, let's say, wearing something satanic, which is like all black and like is emo and isn't that, no one bothers them. Yeah. But then someone wants to wear their religious clothing, they get bothered. Even to the extent that even in America, the Sikhs were being bothered because people thought that a turban, a Sikh, is a Muslim. They didn't even know the difference. They put us all as one category. And it was like, I remember a Sikh owner, he had a gas station in America and he was shot. And they thought that he was Muslim. That's why they shot him. Look how ignorant some people are. And they went to jail for life for shooting the wrong religion, wrong person. Oh, but it's just that there's a lot of this happening. It's called Islamophobia. Then there's also in America anti-Semitism, which people who are against Jews. We're all special and every single person contributes to society. I don't look down on anyone because every part of society is needed in order for it to be a society.
Absolutely. In fact, I remember something very interesting from, I was speaking to Syed, your project manager who works with you in Forever.
Syed, some people say that he's my adopted son.
Yeah.
Because I have so much respect for him. He's helps me a lot in so many things.
And if I'm not wrong, you were doing a trip in India, right? And then I don't know if it was in Syed's place. You had booked a hotel. You do things where you treat everyone with respect. What I loved about the fact is you're working with your people.
Yeah.
You are actually within the cafe. You're serving coffee. You're a business owner. You own these chains. You don't have to do that. But why do you choose to?
So there's a few things that I live my life by. A lot of people don't understand that Islam is not just a religion. Islam is also a way of life. So you don't have to be Muslim to learn some things from Islam, because Islam, it's a religion and it's a way of life. So one of the things in Islam, it says, Man tawada Allah rafa'ahu. So when you are humble, in the eyes of God, you're high. So being humble is very important. Who am I to tell my employees what to do if I have not did what they need to do? I said, in order for my employees to respect me, they need to understand that I will also do their job to show that their job is respected. There's nothing wrong with serving someone. I remember once I was in Qatar. I usually visit all my shops because I have international locations. And sometimes when I go to international locations, it's not to the standard that I want because I'm not living there. So they have basically they're more chill. And it was a mess. And I started cleaning. My employees were like, boss, please put down the Windex and the rag. I says, no, if you want to sit here and talk, you have your coffee, you enjoy, I'll do your job. They said, you are humiliating us by doing this. I says, no, I'm just doing what you should have done. I could have gotten fired. I could have did so many things. I have a different approach of things because I believe that I'm different and I believe that people should have originality when it comes to their personalities. I'm only arrogant when people become arrogant towards me. So if someone wants to put up their shoulders, I'll put up my shoulders 10 times higher.
You said that you believe in treating everyone with respect. Syed, who I was speaking to, he told me that you came and stayed over at his place.
Yeah.
Tell us the story of
So basically, I imagined that if I was in that person's shoes, what would I want my boss to do? So we went to India because it was one of my employees' weddings. And he told me, I'm inviting you, but I know you're not going to come. And I said, why did you say that? And he said, because you're so busy. I said, you know what? I'm coming to your wedding. He didn't believe it. He didn't believe it until I arrived. I was in India. I was in Goa, driving 4 hours from Goa to Mangalore early morning to go to his wedding. So afterwards, I'm like, how can I leave India and not see Saeed's parents? And it's not just Saeed. Saeed also and his sister also work with us. She's a manager in our flower shop, Unisa. Saeed and Unisa really worked so hard in our company and is working with utmost respect and passion. And it's like they're working for their brother, not for a boss. So I said, I want to meet this guy's parents and thank them for raising such a good person. I remember sitting down with his father, and I told his father how much I appreciate Saeed and Unisa and how hard he worked for them, for us, and what a great children he's raised. So I saw his father so happy, and he had like a tear in his eye. And he told me, you know what? He said, I worked in Saudi for more than 20 years to put my son and my daughter into school. And I never thought in 100 years that their boss will come and appreciate that. Sometimes in life, we have to make small efforts. And to me, that's a very small effort.
But it means the whole
But
world.
it means the whole world to them.
Yeah.
And it was so funny that when I came back, Saeed was like, boss, my parents no longer call me. They used to call me every day. I says, what do you mean? He's like, since they met you, they're like, he's in good hands. We don't need to call him. And it's so funny. A lot of people also, because I always post Saeed in my interviews and stuff, and I tag him. And a lot of people come up to me, they're like, oh, no, come work for us, because they think that Saeed has all my secrets. So they want, Saeed to go work for them. And then Saeed was like, listen, even if I come work for you, my parents are not going to allow. My parents told me, you have your boss and you have your grave. Which one do you want? In Dubai, it's very easy to switch jobs.
Yeah.
Any job is going to give you more than a previous job. The biggest thing I advise people, do what you love, do what you're good at. Now, if someone comes to me and says, well, I love eating, go do what you love doing, get paid a little bit less, and master that.
How does an entrepreneur go about cultivating that culture where their team members, the people who they work with, do the same, who treat their business? Because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm trying to build that. That's a culture which I want within my business.
First of all, you need to humanize yourself and humanize your employees. Have a heart. Yes, company needs policies. Yes, company needs things for it to function as a company and for no one to break the policy. But be a human about it. Give people the benefit of the doubt. We call it in Arabic, hasan al-dhan. Listen to people. Have a heart. Once you humanize them and once you listen to them and once you do this, they by themselves are going to appreciate. So if you look at an employee who doesn't like their job, he's going to say, my boss did this, my boss did this. The boss is the worst thing in life. Now, don't get me wrong. Some employees, someone needs to be on top of their head. That employee that you have to be on top of his head, is better to get rid of him because he's not a good employee. Let him to learn the hard way.
In fact, that's a very valuable lesson you're teaching him so that the next job he goes to, he won't treat it that
Either
way.
he changes himself or he gets changed. Don't change the policy of the good employees based on one bad employee. Get rid of that bad employee and continue humanizing the employees, and the system would automatically filter from the bad employees. Why? Because you have, let's say an entity have 100 good employees and you have 2 bad employees, they're going to leave because they're not going to see whatever they want to do. They're not going to find an accomplice to it. So if they want to steal, they're not going to find someone to steal with them. So they're not going to feel comfortable. They're by themselves are going to leave. A company that has good intention will eventually filter itself naturally. Like Dubai is a city for successful people. A lot of shitty people come to Dubai and end up getting kicked right out. Why? Because they came with bad intentions. They came with intentions that I'm going to get a job, I'm going to go apply for a loan, I'm going to run away. Stupid. Because Dubai is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you just come as a transit to Dubai and you're wanted by the police, you're going to get caught in the airport. So why do that? Why? And that's theft. That's theft. But they think they're smart.
What you take is going to come back to you somewhere or the other.
In life, there's no shortcuts. You take a shortcut, you get cut. It's so simple. Don't look what other people are doing. Worry about yourself. Everyone has something written for them. Stop chasing and start working on yourself. The best thing to do for yourself is to go educate yourself, be your own boss, make your own money, better put in the work, better yourself, make your body better, be healthier, be the best version.
You said that some people, they wanted to copy your business model and stuff. How can an entrepreneur go about preventing that from happening?
It's a very difficult subject. It's very difficult to handle and it's very difficult to manage. However, this is what I believe. Look at your business as a mountain. When the mountain shakes, what happens? The bad rocks fall. That's where your employees decide to go to somewhere else. they leave. It's better they leave now than leave later. I feel bad if someone worked for me for 10 years and they leave. Yes, I lost someone. But that's very rare because if someone's been with you 10 years, he's already been your brother. But also, we're a business. We cannot rely on one person and we need to be self-sustainable. And we have more people wanting to come in than people exiting.
Yeah. That's the brand that which you have built.
That's the brand. And a lot of people, they work with us as a resume. They said, we were guided by Ebraheem or we were with Trevor Rose. And a lot of people get better jobs because of our reputation. A lot of our employees, when they leave, they get jobs very easily in other places. Yeah.
I was under the impression that your overall net worth is $50 million. But clearly, as you mentioned, it's increased.
But what people don't understand is that when we say net worth, it means the entire, the company and stuff. Doesn't mean that I have $50 million in my bank account.
100%.
So my dad, when he heard that, was like, you have $50 million in your bank account? I'm like, I wish.
Okay, but to get to that particular level, you require systems and processes in place. Without that, no business can sustain. You as an entrepreneur, you as the founder of the company cannot be managing the day-to-day operations. You need people in the right places to take care of it. And so you can build and you can scale more. What is your tip to entrepreneurs to scale their business?
Before you scale any business, you have to be the best at what you're currently doing. I say you have to put your ducks in a row before you walk the street. You have to make sure it's all taken care of, that you have the best technology when it comes to whatever you're working with. You know your direction, everything. A lot of people try to scale up and they end up scaling up in the time that they should be perfecting their business. You shouldn't scale anything until you perfect it. Once it's perfect, then you go. I could open a Forever Rose in every country in the world right now, but I'm not perfect. I still having complaints about random things that I had to fix. I still not sure of the concept. If I want food, if I want to just coffee, just desserts. These are very important strategic things when it comes to international opening of any type of business, for that way you don't have a logistics nightmare. You have to make sure that all your ducks are in a row before you walk the street. It's simple. People can become greedy. So the thing is that try to detach yourself away from money. Stop loving money so much, because people who love money never see it. People who love success, who are determined to succeed, are the ones who see the money. You need to understand that money is only a commodity. It is a piece of paper that is used to go through the day, does not define you, does not make who you are.
One amazing saying that I read recently is, if you help enough people in life, money would automatically come. The only way to make money is by helping others.
Absolutely.
Achieve their problems, solving their situations.
I did things 10 years ago that I'm just now getting paid for it right now. We say in Arabic, sawat al-wajib, which is you did what is needed to do when that person came to visit you. You don't understand that when you do something for someone that's so small, they don't forget about it. They keep it in their hearts. And when they can, they'll give it back. But I never did anything to expect anything in return. That's when you become light. You're not heavy. Because if you do something for someone and you expect a return and you don't get it, you're going to be demotivated to keep doing it. I do it in the name of God. I do it that this is who I am. I'm generous. I want you to be happy and I don't need anything in return. If the return comes, thank you. If it didn't come, I'm still okay because I didn't do it for you. I did it for God.
I've seen you go out of the way and do certain things which are incredible, right? For example, a lot of people visit you in Forever Rose Cafe. I've seen a lot of people come and, make you do your traditional season one, LGO, the dialogue. Some of these people are actually traveling from other countries and you take out time from your busy schedule to go and meet them. You don't have to, but you still do.
The thing is, like I told you, is that I'm a person who I put myself in people's shoes. They want to know so many things. I can't cut it short and be just like, no, because they came so far. I put myself in their situation. People around me, they're like, how can you do it? There's so many. Even today, I was in the cafe and I was late to come here. And this guy came up to me and he's like, I have a jewelry business and can you, make a video of you saying that you bought like to buy jewelry from me. Now, any other person like, no, we cannot do that. They will say to themselves, they cannot do that because that guy, we don't know him. Maybe he's a scam. You don't know. I said, he looked decent to me, very respectful. I did it for him. Took a picture, did that, walked away. Then he comes to me again and says, my wife is now jealous. She has a business also for skincare. Can you make a video for her? So I said, okay, we do it, And people look at me, my employees like, boss, like this person's taking advantage of you. Like, why are you doing it? I said, let him. I have a business. I wish someone was there for me when I needed them, but they weren't. So I want to be there for people when they need someone because I know how difficult it is to start without having support. And it goes to tell you something that someone told me that kind of made me rethink life and kind of the way I judge things is about heroes and villains. So in life, we have a hero. A hero is someone who's been broken, and he's a hero to save people because he doesn't want anyone to be broken as he's been broken. That's a hero.
Batman.
A villain has been broken and he wants to break other people.
Joker.
If an employee who's been fired from a job, okay, they go to another job, they either can be good and they want to do right, or they want to get retaliation for what happened to them in the previous job. So a certain nationality, let's say, was bad to them in that job, they're going to go to the new job and they're going to avoid everyone with that same nationality. That happens every time here in Dubai because they had a bad experience from them. That's wrong. That's villain behavior. A hero behavior is you go and you become better and you want everyone to prosper in that job. See, when you wish people best, the best comes to you. The more you purify your intentions, the more nice things you do, the better you become.
The reverse is also
It's the
true,
same.
right?
Yeah, it's the same thing when they say when the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The reason why the poor get poorer is because they're constantly negative. They're constantly complaining. They're constantly finding excuses for themselves. And the reason why the rich get richer because when you keep winning, you keep winning. You keep climbing and climbing and climbing, and your wins become parts of your life where you have to overcome it. You have to go higher. There's no other way. You have to keep winning. But when you're losing, you're demotivated. You're down. You're tired. You're frustrated. You can't get up. You can't breathe. So that's why they say that. The winners keep winning and the losers keep losing, and the richer get richer and the poor get poorer.
Now, we are not perfect human beings, right? None of us are perfect human beings.
I'm sure the hell not. I got a lot of flaws. Oh boy.
We all have made some mistakes here or there, okay, which can constitute towards something that we look back, hey, I shouldn't have done, and karma had its own way to come and tell you, sometimes karma can come back to you and be like, it gives you instantaneous feedback.
Yeah.
Has any such incident happened to you where you have done something and then you look back like, hey, Ebraheem, I should not have done this, and karma did come back to you?
Yeah, many things. See, the thing is that the way we look at karma in Islam is that it's not karma, it's God teaching you a lesson, But the thing is about mistakes are a necessity of life. Mistakes are the foundation of learning. We cannot succeed unless we've been through a mistake because we've solved the problem and we've moved forward. But I remember my teacher, when I was frustrated, she said, Ebraheem, I want you to look at your problems as little problems that you can't handle and not one big problem that you cannot handle. I said, what do you mean? She said, what's your first problem? I said, my homework. You gave me too much homework. She said, okay. You want less homework? No problem. But don't come to me and say that you didn't learn anything at the end of the year. I give you homework so you can learn, so you can use it in your life. What's the next problem? The kids are making fun of me. They're doing this. And she said, who are they? You're not probably going to know them next year. The year they're going to be gone. Don't worry about what they say. Worry about yourself. Focus on yourself. From year to year, I improve. A few years ago, I was a bit chubby, but I remember my confidence was so high. So it's not about what you look like. It's about what you feel you look like. That's why I'm able to get what I want because I know how to speak. I'm confident. I'm not shy. I don't care what anyone thinks. Blah, blah, blah.
You speak a lot of Arabic on the show, right? And your Arabic is not perfect.
Yeah.
But I think just the way you deliver the Arabic is what people loves you.
Yeah.
And
So
this is what something Dania told me.
yeah. So the LJ و LJ هذا الموضوع أخذ من وقتي أخذ من همي. There's a word I said, I think it was أخذ من طاقتي. Yeah, no, أخذ من همي. أخذ من همي is wrong in Arabic because your hem is something that you're worried about. Like it took from my word. Like if I translate it in English, it's correct. If I say it in Arabic, it's incorrect. Because what I do is I think in English and translate it into Arabic. So it went viral because it was wrong to Arabs. To non-Arabs, they learned it because they love the dialect. And I thought that they're going to forget about it in season 2, but they're not.
No, it came back.
I said, I've seen trends happen and it's a few months, but this has been going on for 2 years straight. I'm like, guys, find something. And like, no, it's forever in our heads. We're never going to forget. I'm like, thank you, Netflix. Thank you. Some people don't even call me Ebraheem. They're like, that's LJ or LJ. I'm like, the guy who did LJ or LJ. I'm like, I have so much more controversial shit that I should be recognized for than that.
Right.
But it was so funny because that scene was so true. I was really fed up with Farhana because she got me 8 o'clock in the morning to go talk drama. I mean, at least wait until lunchtime. I'm like, in the morning, you want to screw my brain? It's not even connected properly yet,
Right.
So that's why I frustrated and I flipped the thing up.
I want to talk about money right now. Rich people go out of their way to make others know that they have money. What's your take on this?
People who just recently become rich or have a little bit of money, they try to show they have a lot of money because they're not secure. They feel that they need to show off. Luxury brands, they have two types of clothing. They have the clothing that they make for the rich people and they have the clothing they make for the poor people. It's the poor people that make the brand famous because they're walking around the mall with the logo of the brand on it. But it's the rich people who actually use that brand for the quality of the brand and not for showing that I'm wearing this brand. People who show off extra, who always showing cars and probably they're renting the cars, I don't know. But these people have insecurity because they don't have money. They want to show that they do have money. So we say in Arabic, hadith al-ni'mah, which is people who don't appreciate what God has given them, who just want to show off. And sometimes people who want to show that they're rich, they become arrogant and rude, thinking that that's what rich people do. If you're rich and you're educated, you're going to appreciate every person because you're going to come from a household that you might have more maids or more servants in the house, and you felt that those people are like your family, so you've learned to respect them.
In fact, there's a saying, right? Like, if you want to judge the character of someone, go see how they treat the people who serve them food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you remember, I've been on a blind date, with in season 1. And LJ, it's the first time I met her, she didn't have eye contact with the waiter. She's a nice person. But it was like, this person is not the person I would want to marry, I want to marry someone who is just as kind as me or even kinder to the people who make our lives easier and who help us. And there's no salary that you can pay someone to be away from their family. The domestic workers in the world, they are the most underappreciated people. These people have sacrificed their own lives to serve you, and you treat them like shit? What the hell? It's so sad to see someone that a lady does not get married because she cannot afford to get married, but yet she's taking care of someone else's kids, changing someone else's diapers. And on top of that, you're going to give them a headache? Even if they make a mistake. I remember our domestic helpers, they burn my clothes, the clothes expensive. It's like, better you burn the clothes than burn your hand. And who did I learn this from? I learned this from Princess Haya. We did her house in London when she was married to Sheikh Mohammed. And I remember one of the maids, they broke something in the house. And the manager said, we have to buy it. Like the manager, she was like, I'm not even going to tell Her Highness. We're just going to go buy it and replace it. And it was expensive. And I told her, I said, guys, trust me, Princess will not say anything. Just tell her it broke. They're like, no, we can't. It's our protocol, blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, when I was designing the house, I put flowers in each room. Princess Haya wanted me to put flowers also in the helper's room, even the helper's bathroom.
Wow.
So the guest bathroom had fragrances like Baccarat fragrances, expensive fragrances. Also, the workers had the same. So I was like, someone who's like that, who's been raised always as a princess and raised to respect people and everyone, and we're all equal, she's not gonna say anything. They bought it and they told her because they couldn't lie to her. So we bought it. And then she's like, why not? And so it just goes to show you that rich people, royal families, are actually the kindest and most down-to-earth people. It's the ones that wannabes, the fake people, the want to pretend. They think that's what it is being rich, is being snobby. It's not. People who are rude to domestic workers are uneducated. They are savages and most likely not my friends.
Speaking of friends, we got to address your bestie.
Of course, DVD.
Were you guys best friends before the show, or is this something developed during the show?
We've developed on a show. We met. I knew Marwan before DJ Bliss, and we got closer during the show.
What aspects of Diwadi made you her bestie?
Because she just happened to be reminding me of my little sister. She always calms me down from doing crazy things. So when I'm around her, I feel like I'm a teenager again. So the whole video we did for the Besties Cafe was like basically two teenagers. They got some money from their parents and they opened a cafe. That was like the vibe, you know, like, oh, we made money, like a lemonade stand as kids. The truth is, and you know, I said this before and I'll say it again. I sold my childhood.
You sold your childhood?
Yes. So when I was 14, I should have been, you know, going to prom and going to movies with my friends. Instead, I started my business.
Yeah, because your dad and your mom.
Yeah, because I was put in society. I was thrown out in society, and I said, you know, it's like someone pushes you in the ocean and says, swim. You know, you don't swim, you're gonna drown. So I had to swim. I had to go. I had to start. I had to make sure my mom had her whatever she needed. I had to make sure that I was developing and doing and this. There was no time for me being a teenager. And I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, it's not you that is going to make a difference in my bank account. You don't make a difference in my life with your comments. And this is comments that we only see online. We don't see in person. It's on them. And that's why you notice I don't delete any of my comments. Everyone else that I know on Dubai Blink deletes their comments, bad comments. I'm the only one. People are like, delete it, don't keep it. I says, no. I says, when you keep these troll comments, you remind them that they are a shitty person. Because who's going to go to a comment and say those type of things unless they're shitty people? Yeah. So I'm not going to clean up your mess. If you left a mess on my page, you're going to have to deal with it because my fans are going to come after you. That's for sure. You're going to look like an idiot in front of everyone. And if you notice, everyone's saying something, it's always fake accounts because they don't have the guts to say it in reality because they're only saying it to try to harm me, but it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, it's entertainment. If I see it, I laugh. A troll is a person without a personality that's hiding behind a computer.
Right.
I looked at the trolls. I investigated some of the trolls because, you know, I have the power to figure out who's writing that.
Right.
And the majority of them are kids, 13, 14, 15, doing nothing. Or if it was someone of a status, maybe I'll feel bad a little bit. But it's nobody's. It's full of nobodies. But I always welcome them. I was like, you know, if you really feel that you need a guidance, just come to the bright side. You know, leave the dark world and come. Because I don't hate them. I don't hate anyone. I can't hate anyone. Even if they speak smack or shit or whatever they say, they threaten me, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I really don't care. It's you know, I can sleep at night. Last night I had 10 hours of sleep.
Amazing.
Yes, alhamdulillah. So because I didn't do anyone wrong. And you know, for people who are watching, I know that they look at me and they're like, well, look at this guy. He's well-spoken. He's handsome. And
of course,
you know,
but you make some of the most controversial statements I have seen.
I shock myself. Sometimes I can't even believe I said, I'm like, what did I say? Why did I say that?
I love your comments on Dubai. My name is Ebraheem. My tongue is like...
أنا اسمي إبراهيم الصمادي. هذا لساني خافي منه. People watching now that could be going through anything. They could be going through a divorce. They could be going through sickness, cancer, death in the family. What I want to explain to everyone is very important. Just remember that life is a journey and not a destination. There's never going to be a time where you're going to say that I've reached. I'm telling you this and I'm Ebraheem. I'm telling you this and I'm Ebraheem. I still want more. You know, I want to do more. I want to achieve more. You have to be happy today and not tomorrow because today will never come back again. That's number one. Number two, remember, I told you again that Islam is a lifestyle and not just a religion. And in Islam, it says that God will never give you anything that you cannot handle. No matter what you do, people are going to talk. People are going to be negative. There's nothing to do to get away from that. Besides, if you avoiding the negativity when you see it. Be true to who you are. Trust the process. Try your best to make the best of every day. That's it.
That was an amazing conversation with Ebraheem. If you love this podcast, please let us know what you thought about it. Let us know in the comments below and we'll be back with another amazing entrepreneur sharing their insights on how they became successful very soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, cool.